Hey there, welcome to a new video, Soothe redrop today. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what I like and what I don't like and show you some cool and creative examples of how far you can push it and how you can use it in ways you would probably not think of. So make sure to watch until the end so you don't miss how you can use it for vocal vocoding and also for bass colorization. Before we get started, I also want to mention that this video is not sponsored. I just downloaded the trial to test everything and now I'm presenting you my result. The first sound is this arpeggio which I made for my recent song, which is by the way out on SoundCloud. Make sure to check it out. It turned out really well and features a lot of genres. And now when we load in Soothe 3, we can use it to duck down frequencies. You probably all know how it works. It's suppressing down the louder frequencies and we can select the area where it's supposed to focus. There are two different modes, soft and hard. The hard mode is more intense and there's this detail knob, which was two different knobs before. So you can get really precise frequency ducking. And this sounds actually really cool. What's also new is the tilt section on the left, where you can say you want more detail on the high end, less attack, or even more attack, less release or more release. And this threshold is new. So you can say you only want it to be reduced until this threshold. This is actually a really nice feature. There's also a low latency mode, which we will have a look at on the drums in a second. And I'm really honest, I did not hear a huge difference between the normal, the high and the ultra mode on just a plain sound like that. Yeah, it sounds the same. I can't hear any difference on hard. So we are fully ducking down the frequencies here. Maybe on less detail. I don't hear any difference. If anyone on YouTube hears a difference, let me know in the comments. This was the basic introduction. Now let's have a look at this drum loop. We can get rid of a lot of frequencies and it keeps the transients. So this is the first improvement. Soothe 2 was way worse on transients and Soothe 3 keeps the transients, which is really nice and appreciated. We can also switch to the soft mode. It keeps the transients. Hard mode gets rid of a little bit more stuff. So this is actually really cool. What I really like is when we get these metallic resonances, which can be good for sound designing. I've prepared this synth group right here. And now let's sidechain the chords so we can make space for our drum loop. And this works really well. It essentially removes all the frequencies. And here I actually use the low latency mode. It does not work that good on the standard mode. It's a little bit behind, and with low latency, it's really clean. So far, the basic stuff is working. We can do sidechaining, we can duck down frequencies. This is all fine and good, but I'm really honest, I don't think the new features are that interesting. We can get some cool sounds out of the new features, which I really appreciate. But for example, what I have wished and what I think would have been really cool if we would have gotten a frequency tracker. So on this bandpass mode, I can select the frequencies here, and what would be really cool if you could now select a key and say, I want this to be key locked, and then it's moving according to the loudest input signal. So we could basically let it follow a node from our chord stack and just isolating it. I think this would have been really cool. Of course, we can automate it. I would have expected something like that for like this major upgrade, to be really honest. But you can't deny the spectral gating, the spectral frequency removal, the spectral compression on especially the hard mode works really well. It's really clean. A use case I can see this for is transitions, because when we have this bandpass, we could now sweep through and create cool transitioning effects. The sweeping is extremely clean. We don't get any clipping, what we would usually get when we just automate it with an EQ or with a filter. Here I can actually hear a difference now on the ultra mode, which is a bit more sharp, I would assume. Now I have prepared two really interesting examples for you, which I'm really happy with that you can do this with Soothe 3 now, because this is actually the cool stuff we are entering now. Everything so far was really basic, and now we get into the more advanced stuff. So if you enjoyed the video so far, please make sure to drop a like and comment, which is the best way to support the channel. And also subscribe if you are new here. We are almost at 4K subscribers, which is insane. So thank you for that, and let's continue with the video. I got this vocal sample.
You're acting like a one-heart hit, then move on. Just always keep walking away.
And now with Soothe, I wanted to try if we can get like a vocoder-ish effect, if we can use it to layer vocals, or if we could give the vocal a cool touch. There's this chord stack again. So just plain MPE chords. And now I moved Soothe onto the chord and used the vocal as the sidechain input. When you want to use your sidechain input, make sure to enable the SC button up there. I was really surprised with this result now. Let's remember the vocal, which sounded like this.
You're acting like a one-heart hit, then move on.
And now watch this. I was extremely stunned when I came up with this. So this is like the first situation where I'm actually really happy with what Soothe 3 is doing here, because we are using the linear phase mode, which is new on Ultra, also with a bunch of adjustments in the tilt section. I would totally use it as a layer or in an intro chopped up, and also together it sounds really good.
You're acting like a one-heart hit, then move on. Just always keep walking away, walking away.
You have to enable the hard mode plus the linear phase mode. It does not work that well on minimum phase. You can't deny this effect is pretty cool. And this was like the first situation where I thought, should I get Soothe or is it overhyped, overpriced? It's definitely really pricey. It's definitely a little bit much for just frequency ducking and spectral sidechaining at the end. The different modes are cool, but I think most people who get Soothe 3 will never use it in that creative way. They will probably only use it for mixing, for frequency ducking, and I think it's not worth for just that. If you are more in the creative genres like dubstep, this could be definitely a fun tool, but definitely not for standard stuff like mixing. If you are more on the creative side, this can be cool for you. Now let's get to the last part, which is also a cool application. We have these bass sounds which I made last week. And first I used Soothe 3 to remove some of the high end, because it was a little bit harsh. And then I used Soothe 3 again and also sidechained some chords with it on the delta mode. And I wanted to try out if you can colorize bass sounds with chords. So we have the chords again, and now I tried how the colorization works. And I was surprised it did work out. It's more on the natural side. It's not ringing, it's not resonating. But it's actually cool. It also works on the normal mode and on the high mode. But I don't really hear a big difference. However, it does not work that well on minimum phase mode. So you have to use linear phase, which of course is a little bit more CPU intense. Right now, when we look at the CPU usage meter up here, it's at 9% without doing anything. And when I press on play, we are at around 20% with 2 instances of Soothe activated at the same time. So each instance is using 5% on my system, and I basically have the best hardware you can have for music production. I have an AMD 9950X 3D processor. So if you want to use Soothe 3 on each of your 50 tracks, I don't know, it can get pretty CPU intense. So if you don't have a good system, be careful with too many Soothe 3 instances. All right, now let's conclude. It can do the basic stuff even cleaner, especially on drums. It keeps the transients clean, which is fun. You can get cool metallic sounds out of it, and you can even use it for vocal layering, for vocal vocoding in a cool and fun way, and also to colorize basses. Is it worth it for you at the end? Will I buy it? I don't know it, to be honest. When I want to do frequency ducking or even spectral sidechaining, I always use Slick by Nasko for this, which perfectly sounds fine for me, and it's even cleaner than Soothe 2 because Soothe 2 had phasing issues. Of course, in the video they said Soothe 3 had less artifacts, but you have to try it out yourself. Get the trial version like I did and try it out for yourself and see how it works in your workflow. That's it for today's video. Let me know what you think of Soothe 3 down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Have a great day and goodbye.